Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare, Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol. हरे नाम संकीर्तन की जय, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, जय दोस्त हरि 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 बोल. Hare Krishna. Welcome to all the devotees to the morning session of Shrimad Bhagavatam. Wishing you all a very blissful Papamochini Ekadashi, a very important day, and very thankful to ICF to give me this opportunity on this day to speak about Shrimad Bhagavatam. So we start with the opening prayers. Before that, I seek blessings from all the Vaishnavas assembled. Please bless me so that I speak the right words in the right mode as a service to my spiritual master and for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord and for my own purification. Hare Krishna. We start with the opening prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padana Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. सप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे नाम चिन्तामणि कृष्ण चैतन्य रसविग्रह पूर्णशुद्धो नित्यमुक्तो अभिन्नत्वां नाम नामिनो। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवात्सादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Invocation phrase. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखात् अमृताद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो मतस्मृतिज्ञानमापोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृद्वेदविद् एव चाहम्। Srila Sanatha Goswami glorifying Shrimad Bhagavatam. सर्वशास्त्राभिपीयूष सर्ववेदैकतत्फला सर्वसिद्धान्तरत्नाद्य सर्वलोकैकदिक्प्रदा सर्वभागवता प्राणा श्रीमद्भागवत प्रभो कलिद्वन्द्वोदितादित्य श्रीकृष्ण परिवर्तिता परमानन्दपाठाय प्रेमवर्षि अक्षराय ते सर्वदा सर्वसेव्याय श्रीकृष्णाय नमोऽस्तु मे। मदेकबन्धु मत्सङ्गिन् मद्गुरु मन्महादना मन्निष्ठारक मद्भाग्य मदानन्द नमोऽस्तु ते। असाधु साधु तादायि नदी नीचोचताकरा हानमुञ्चा कदाचिन्मां प्रेम्ण हृत्कण्ठयो स्फुरा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। I request all the devotees, let us chant 3 times, as we all know that His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj is really very sick. So let us all pray for his speedy recovery. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna. Thanks all devotee. May the merciful Lord shower all His mercy on the most merciful Guru, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. With that, we start our today's session. I'll share the screen. Yeah. So today we are doing the third canto, the status quo, and the name of the chapter is the conversation, right? It is the conversation between who all?
Manu and Kardama.
Yeah, there is a conversation between Manu and Kardama Muni. So here we see that Vidura had asked, actually, this is in continuation to the earlier conversation between Vidura and Maitreya Muni, right? Vidura was asking Maitreya Muni about what were the activities of Swayambhuva Manu, isn't it? And then later on, he asked about Uttanapad, Priyavarta, and then he had also asked about Kardama Muni, the activities of Kardama Muni and the marriage of Kardama Muni to Devi Huti. So we will understand what are the lessons that we have to take from the activities of Kardama Muni. So here we see that in this chapter, the first 5 verses is about the inquiries about Manu dynasty, about his 2 sons, the 2 sons of Uttanapad Priyavarta, and his 3 daughters, Akuti, Prashuti, and Devihuti. Then further 6 to 12 verses, it says that how Kardama Muni, he was told by Lord Brahma to increase the population. So before he entered into the Grahastha ashram, he did meditation. This happened in the Satyuga, and that time the Yuga Dharma was meditation, where they had a very long lifespan of 1 lakh years. And in that lifespan, for 10,000 years, he meditated upon the Supreme Lord. And as the result of his meditation and his austerity was that the Lord gave him the darshan. Then he sees the Lord, and then he offers prayers to the Lord. And that is from verse 13 to 20, I think 21. Yeah, 21 to 22. Right. And then further 23 to 32, it speaks, the Lord is then replying. The Lord speaks to Kardama Muni. And then later, the Lord leaves and Manu arrives with Devahuti, the description of Bindu Sarovar, where they reside, and Kardama Muni receives Manu. So these are the things that is going to be covered in this chapter. Today, I will be covering from 14 to 17th verses. Right, in 40, wherein he is offering his prayers to the Lord, and he is requesting from the Lord certain material desires. So let us understand through the purport of Srila Prabhupada, what is it? Is it materialistic or is it transcendental, the request that is made? And what is the lesson that we have to understand from these 4 verses? So with your permission, I start the 14th verse. Let's say, ये मया याते हतामेतशस्त्वत् पादारविन्दं भवसिन्धुपोतम् उपासते कामलवाय तेषां रसाशिकामा निरयेऽपि येषुः ये मायया ते हतमेतशस्त्वत् पादारविन्दं भवसिन्धुपोतम् उपासते कामलवाय तेषां रासिषकामान् निरयेऽपि येषु. Yes, who had raised the hand first? Actually, I do not know, but they can read this, recite this verse.
Hare Krishna.
You can recite the shloka, Mataji Devi.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Pranams. ये मायया ते हतमेधसस्त्वत् पादारविन्दं भवसिन्धुपोतम् उपासते कामलवाय तेषां राशीष कामान् निरयेऽपि येषु. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So here it is Hare Krishna. The translation. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Pranams. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. Your lotus feet are the true vessel to take one across the ocean of mundane nescience. Only persons deprived of their intelligence by the spell of the deluding energy will worship those feet with a view to attain the trivial and monetary pleasures of the senses, which even persons rotting in hell can attain. However, O my Lord, you are so kind that you bestow mercy even upon them. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Here it says that Ye Mayaya te hatameda shastvat. Ye Mayaya, that is under the illusion. What is happening under the illusion? Hatha, it is killing what? Meda, our intelligence. So under the illusionary energy, under the Maya, our intelligence is being deluded. The next line says Padaravindan Bhavasindhu Potam. The lotus feet of the Lord is described here as Potam. That is the boat. This Padaravindam, which is the boat, whose shelter we have to take. Only by taking the shelter of this boat, which is the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, then only we can cross the Bhavasindhu, the ocean, the material ocean, which is full of miseries. But what is happening is, because we are under the illusion of this Maya, and because our intelligence has been deluded, what are we doing? Upasate kama lavaya tesham. We are upasate kam. We are asking him about the. We are asking him a favor to fulfill our desire of sense gratification. As written, Rasisha kaman nirayepi seshu, and thus we are in this hellish condition of life, the animalistic condition of life, where we are like the animals also eat, drink, sleep, have sex, procreate. We are also within this material world, enjoying, having desires for sense gratification. We are in this hellish animalistic, we are leading an animalistic life, undergoing the vicious cycle of birth and birth again and again, and thinking that we are very happy. And thus we are not taking the shelter, because our mind, our intelligence has been deluded. We have become less intelligent. So we are not taking the shelter of the Padaravindam, the lotus feet of the Lord, which is instead we are going to the Lord to ask for sense gratification. Right? So this is what the verse says. So we let us understand what does Prabhupada says in this purport, where Prabhupada says that that there are two kinds of people who desire for material pleasures and those who desire for service of the Lord. So these are the type of the people who are going to the Supreme Lord, but for their sense gratification. So who are the four type of people who surrender to the Lord for their own motives? Bhagavad Gita describes about.
Gnani Jignasya.
Yes, yes. These are the
Chaturvidhavasya Madana Sukapatana.
Yeah. So these are the four type of people who approaches the Lord for their sense gratification. So Prabhupada says that they approach the Supreme Lord for two reasons, either for material pleasures or for the service of the Lord. But those who are asking the Lord for material pleasures, they are actually living a animalistic life, right? In this, asking for a favor, to enjoy. What are we doing? We are again, are we getting any liberation? Are we getting any perfection? No. We are in this hellish condition of life. This hellish condition is the life which we are living in this material world, which is full of anxiety, right? There is one or the other. We are working day in itself. Prabhupada says that we stay in big buildings. We strive very hard. We do not like, everybody strive to come to the city where there is all material opulences, right? They do not believe in simple living and high thinking, and as a result they all flock towards the city. And in the city they work in day in and day out, right? And for what? For their comfort, their fruitive result, economic development, right? Sense gratification. They are, and then once they get a big, they buy a big house, then again to maintain that, right, they are working day in and day out. And when they come back home, they are tired. They do not have in much time to do any service to the Lord. The whatever is the frozen things which are there in the house, they heat that, they eat it. As a result of that, what happens? They become diseased, right? And then, but they feel they are enjoying, they are happy. So Prabhupada described that this is the material, this is the animalistic, hellish kind of enjoyment, of material existence. Just like animals we are living. But the Lord is so merciful that because we have approached the Supreme Lord, even for sense gratification, he fulfills the desire. Similarly, but Kardama Muni is condemning this, that you are approaching the Supreme Lord, but you are asking for a material desire, right? So he's saying that, but he condemns that. He says that such material pleasures are even available to animals in this material world. That is the hellish condition. But the Lord is so kind that he facilitates it, but they cannot obtain perfection. This is what we have to understand. We have to approach the Lord with doing service to the Lord with the desire to fulfill the desire of the Lord and thus attain the perfection stage. That is the liberation at his lotus feet. Because that is our constitutional position, to serve the Lord and not ask favor from the Lord or ask service from him. So here it says that such a people is described here as Hatta Medasa, which means their veins are spoiled and they are aspiring for material enjoyment by perfection of yoga or material meditation. They are doing this, but they are asking for, aspiring for material enjoyment. So can somebody read the last stanza in Bhagavad
Hare
Gita?
Krishna, Mataji, can I?
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Pranam. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated by the Lord that the intelligence of those who worship the demigods has been spoiled. Similarly, here too, it is stated by Kadama Muni that one who aspires after material enjoyment by practice of yoga has spoiled his brain substance and is fool number one. Actually, the intelligent practitioner of yoga should aspire for nothing else but to cross over the ocean of nescience by worshipping the personality of Godhead and to see the lotus feet of the Lord. The Lord is so kind, however, that even today, persons whose brain substance is spoiled are given the benediction to become cats, dogs, or hogs and enjoy material happiness from sex life and sense gratification. The Lord confirms this benediction in Bhagavad Gita. Whenever a person aspires to receive from me, I offer him as he desires. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here it says Bhagavad Gita, the Lord himself is saying that approaching the demigod is with the Purvakam. It is not the correct method. Indirectly, you are worshipping me, but that is not the correct method. Who does that? They are Alpamedasha, right? They are worshipping different demigods. Tad Bhavati Alpamedasha. Ananya Bhakt, they are serving the demigods for fulfilling their desire because they feel that it is very quick. So they are called as Alpamedasha by the Supreme Lord himself. Similarly, Kardama Muni is also telling that you should, those who are going to the Supreme Lord for material sense gratification, then you have to understand that your brain is spoiled. So you have to take you have given this human life, take the benefit of this human life and surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord, because the lotus feet of the Lord is considered as, Canto 10 says that, Samashritaye padapallava plavam mahat padam punya yasho murari Bhavambudirvatsa padam param padam yat vipadam natesham. That is, if those who have accepted the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord and who is the shelter of the cosmic manifestation and is famous as Murari, the enemy of Murademan, the ocean of the material world, is like the water contained in the calf's hoof print. Their goal is Parampadam, Vaikunta, the place where there is no material desire, not the place where there is danger at every step. So the understanding is, take the shelter of the Supreme Lord, approach him to serve him, because when you serve him, then only you can cross this material ocean, which is very vast. But when you surrender unto his lotus feet by taking a shelter of a guru, who is a representative, who is bona fide, who is coming under the parampara, taking diksha from him, following his instruction, then this material world, which is very vast, which is full of material things, it will be just like a small puddle, like the calf's hoof, which makes a small hole, right? And in that, how much water will be there? So this vast ocean will be just like that, and very easy you can cross the material ocean. So here it refutes, asking, Bhagavad Gita say, do not go to demigods. And when you're going, even if you're worshipping the Supreme Lord, it should be for the liberation at his lotus feet, which is the perfection of liberation. Is that okay? The first verse?
Yes, Mataji.
So what is the understanding of the first verse that we should?
No
Hare Krishna,
material.
Mataji, just a
One.
minute. You said Alpameda. Alpamedasa is who, Mataji?
They are the people who in Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, it says that they tat bhavati alpamedasha. Who are they? They are the less intelligent people who Ananya Devata, who worship the Ananya Devata, that is the demigods.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji.
Okay. So here, the first verse we say Kardama Muni is refuting, approaching the Lord, asking for material desire. So let us understand what is the 15th verse say. Yes, Momita Mataji, you can recite the verse.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranam.
Hare Pranam.
तथा चहम परिवृत्तु कामा समानशीलं ग्रहामि दधीनम् उपेयेव नूलं शेषामूलं दूरस्य कामादु अन्ग्रीपस्य. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Sarvana Prabhu, the translation.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, desiring to marry a girl of like disposition who may prove to be a veritable cow of plenty in my material life, to satisfy my lustful desire, I too have sought the shelter of your lotus feet, which are the source of everything. For you are like a desert tree. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So in the earlier verse, we said that though the people approach the Supreme Lord for sense gratification, material desire, the Lord fulfills it. And that is why here in this verse, Kardama Muni is saying that you are like a desire tree who fulfills all the desires. So I ask you that for a girl, I have been told to increase the population. So I am asking for a girl of like disposition who may prove, whose quality should be just like that veritable cow of plenty in my married life. So to satisfy my lustful desire, I too sought the shelter of your lotus. So here, what do we understand? In the first verse, it is refuting. For Kardama Muni is condemning. But here, Kardama Muni is telling, I too am asking you, I am taking your shelter and I am asking you for a girl to marry. So how do we understand this? So even Kardama Muni is asking the Lord for material advantages.
No, Mataji.
Why?
It is for spiritual children, what he is asking for, right, Mataji, who will be in Krishna consciousness, who will spread Krishna consciousness. So maybe that desire is not really material.
Hare Krishna.
To beget children and
Hare Krishna Mataji.
to increase the population.
Yes.
Can I make an
Okay.
attempt, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
So I'm just saying what I have understood. So Kardama Muni being advised by Brahma to beget children, so he is praying to the Lord that it should be only for the spiritual progress. So since I have been ordained, I have to enter into this Grihastha ashram. I am praying to you, O Lord. So please give me a suitable suitable path, like how I can move on this. So like that. So that's what I understand.
Even Brahma, we can consider.
Yes. She
Lord
meditates
Brahma,
for the Lord to born to him. Following the instruction of a guru.
But even then we can understand that Lord Brahma is also one of the demigods, right? Any
Yes,
others?
Mataji. Even if Lord he is the demigod, but still Kardama Muni is praying to the Supreme Personality of Godhead for him to follow this what it is said by Brahma.
So that is, he is asking for a material desire.
It can be karma yoga, right, Mataji?
Not exactly the material desire. Just to it is for the welfare of the world and welfare of for his spiritual path also.
He has accepted Brahma as a
Hare,
guru, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Mataji, as per my knowledge goes, Supreme Lord is the Kalpa Ruksha. He is the sanctioning authority of all the material and the spiritual also. So, just to educate us, the Kardama Muni might have asked the Supreme Lord regarding the what if we reserve for the things, material things, we will be put in trouble. In another means, I think he is educating us as per my knowledge goes.
Okay, Prabhu, thank you. Anybody
Hare
else?
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Yes.
Mataji.
Yes,
So
Prabhu.
actually, we are the souls who had desires. So that's the reason we are coming here, Mataji. So in order to send all the souls back to Godhead, so we are asked to come here and get into Krishna conscious. Once we come into Krishna conscious, then only we can go back to Godhead. Is that right, Mataji?
The question is that here Kardama Muni is approaching. In the first verse, Kardama Muni condemned, right? But then here Kardama Muni is telling, yes, that I too am taking your shelter for to fulfill my lustful desire of marrying a girl. So please give me a girl of like disposition.
So when we get married, then only we get children, Mataji. So that's the reason when the souls come here onto the material world and come into Krishna conscious, then only they will go back to Godhead.
Okay.
Because the Lord will purify, Mataji. Whatever material desire one may approach the Lord, Supreme Lord can give everything. Akama, Sarvakama, Mokshakama. For anything, you can go to the Supreme Lord, but he can purify and he will give that, Mataji.
Maybe to tell Mataji that if at all you have any desires, then don't approach the demigods and you can approach directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yes,
that maybe to teach for common.
Mataji, Kardama Muni want to fulfill his material desire as well as the spiritual desire, because Lord only can fulfill that both the material and spiritual desires.
That is what is, yes. So almost everybody has come to the point. So we understand that after it was created, the Lord has given this duty, right, to Brahma. Now you take over and start the creation. So first he approaches, first he creates the 4 Kumaras. Then he tells them, they refuses, right? Then the sages. So the Prajapatis, then the Swayam Manu. So like that, we see that Kardama Muni is not an ordinary person. He is one of the Prajapatis. So he has been told, as you all said that, yes, correct. He has been told by Lord Brahma, right, to increase the population. And Lord Brahma has been instructed by the Supreme Lord. So he is actually fulfilling the desire of the Supreme Lord, which has been conveyed to him through Lord Brahma. And so, here he sees that for that he is not approaching, like Mataji said, that he is not approaching any demigod. He is approaching the Supreme Lord. So we should not lower the position of Kardama Muni. Kardama Muni is a Prajapati. He is following the instructions, and thus he is teaching us that even like Mataji said, Kamava, whatever it is, whether you have desire, you do not have desire, whatever it is approaching the Supreme Lord is better than approaching a demigod. Because when we ask for some material gratification, right? That means we are not in the mode of goodness. It is always we are in the mode of passion, right? And when we worship the demigods, there is no advancement in us. We are always, the demigods will give us, we are satisfied, and again we are then there in this vicious cycle. But whereas when we are approaching the Supreme Lord, the Lord fulfills it, and gradually that purification of our consciousness takes place, and we, from the mode of passion, we come to the mode of goodness, and gradually to Shuddha Sattva. So that is the understanding that better approach the Supreme Lord rather than the demigod. So here we see that Kardama Muni, that we should not lower his position by saying that, oh, even he is. So he's saying, yeah, though I condemned, but here I am approaching you but for what? For the benefit, to fulfill the desire of the Lord, because he wants the material world to be populated. So, but for that he's approaching the Lord why he want to have a good progeny. So he's telling that I want a wife, who is of the same mentality, who is equally devoted like me, so that they together in one completeness they can do devotional service. That is how it should be. And further in the second paragraph, Prabhupada is explaining about the importance of horoscope, right? The importance of having choosing a partner who is of the same mentality, of the same thinking like us. So that is why earlier there was horoscope matching, right? Before the marriage, before a girl and boy would see also, first they would match the horoscope, the position of the stars. So we see that astrology is not something myth, but it is a science, right? Which tells us that whether there is a compatibility. When there is compatibility, then the further it takes place. That is how they further move forward. So, husband and wife coming into a grahasthashram should be to approach the Supreme Lord. So here he says that nowadays, Prabhupada says this, but what is happening nowadays, they think that marriage should take place without such consultation. It is just, there are some community which do not have this concept also of matching the horoscope. Even then, they are surviving, isn't it? So, but that doesn't mean that that is true, right? Therefore, after the marriage, there is divorce, separation. But then somebody may say that there are so many cases wherein the horoscope is matched, but even then it ends up in divorce. But you can understand that maybe, as we say, that this is a science, it is a calculation. It should be done by a person who has a proper knowledge to it. If it was not done properly, the calculations maybe also go wrong. So we cannot comment on such. But it is a science. It is a fact that horoscope matching is required. So formerly, husband and wife used to live together peacefully throughout the whole life. But nowadays, it has become a very difficult task. Therefore, Kardama Muni wanted a wife of like disposition, because the wife is necessary to assist him in the spiritual and material advancement. That is why it is said that it is required for dharma, economic development, and sense gratification. But here it does not speak about liberation, because here it is asking for material desire. So similarly, Kardama Muni says that he has asked for it is said that he wanted a good wife. So we always see that in this material. Yes, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Yeah, it is. He is asking for dharma, artha, kama, but not liberation. But here we see that Kardama Muni says that in this material world also we see that so many times when we were young also, the elders would say that Monday, when it is Monday, they say you take fasting. The girls who are of marriageable age, right? You worship Lord Shiva, Lord Goddess Parvati to get a good husband. But it is said that it is recommended, but he preferred to worship the personality of Godhead, because it is recommended in Bhagavatam that everyone, whether he is full of desires, he has no desires, or desires liberation or moksha kama also, he should tivrena bhakti yogena yacheta param. You should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So can somebody read the last para? Divya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Of these three classes of men, one tries to be happy by fulfillment of material desire, another wants to be happy by becoming one with the Supreme, and another, the perfect man, is a devotee. He does not want anything in return from personality of Godhead. He only wants to render transcendental loving service. In any case, everyone should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for he will fulfill everyone's desire. The advantage of worshipping the Supreme Person is that even if one has desire for material enjoyment, if he worships Krishna, he will gradually become a pure devotee and have no more material hankerings. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. This is what I said. This is the advantage, right? If you worship a demigod, you will always be in that mode. You will not advance. But whereas when you are worshipping the Lord, even for a material desire, gradually, because of the purification of our consciousness, you come to goodness and then the pure sattva. That is the pure devotee. Yes, Vasudha Mataji. So here in the 14th and 15th, we saw that how you have to approach, and then the 15th, 16th and 17th says that we have to detach from the material attachment. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Prajapateste vachasadhisatanya loka kilayam kamahato anubhaddha aham cha lokanugato vahami balim cha sulani misaya tubhyam. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anita Mataji, the translation.
Hare Krishna. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. O my Lord, you are the master and leader of all living entities. Under your direction, all conditioned souls, as if bound by rope, are constantly engaged in satisfying their desires. Following them, O embodiment of religion, I also bear oblations for you who are eternal time.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So he is telling that.
Mataji, can you explain this? I also bear oblations for you who are eternal time.
Yeah. Yeah, I also bear the oblation. He is also asking for a request, for a good wife from who for you who are the eternal time. He is representing.
It's R is in plural. So who are eternal time means what?
Past, present, and eternal time. You can understand is the time, Mataji. He is the impersonal. Time is, you cannot tell it. Person is one, but the time factor is not one. No, time has got different stages. Like that, you can understand. He is the one. The Lord is the impersonal time, right? That is what our understanding.
Yeah, impersonal time. That means who is eternal time means, okay, I can understand. Okay, he is meaning the Lord, but who are eternal time means that's why I asked.
Okay, we will understand, Mataji. So, from the purport, we can say that in the Katha Upanishad, it is stated that the Supreme Lord is the leader of all entities. He is the sustainer and the awarder of their necessities and desires. No living entity is independent. All are dependent on the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the Vedic instruction is that one should enjoy life under the direction of the Supreme Leader, the personality of Godhead. So it says that one should enjoy, but it should be as per the scriptures and not as per the your own mental speculation, right? So it's then further Vishopanishad, what it says that Ishavasyam idam sarvam yat kinchit jagatyam jagat tvena tvaktena bunjita magrida kashchit vidhanam. That means this material world, each and every one has their own share. So be satisfied with your share and do not encroach upon others' share. So God has made arrangement for everyone and you have to follow it, enjoy it under his direction and do not encroach upon others. So here it says that since Kardama Muni was advanced in spiritual life, then why did he not ask the Lord for liberation? Why did he want to have material life, or in spite of personally seeing and experiencing the Lord? The answer is that that not everyone. See, here we should understand that not everyone is competent to be liberated from the material bondage. It is therefore everyone's duty to enjoy according to the present position, but under the direction of the Lord or the Earth. So we understand that here it is saying that Kardama Muni, he did meditation, right? After meditation, the result was that he saw the Lord. After seeing the Lord, why didn't he ask for liberation? Why didn't he ask for liberation? Why didn't he ask for a grahasthashram life? So from this we can understand that in the Vedas, in the scriptures, there are solutions for all kinds of people. We see that everybody are not in that same mode, right? Or not all are in the mode of goodness. Not all are in the mode of passion. Everybody, like when Brahma asked the four Kumaras to procreate, they refused. They said no. They knew that because once and they refused, and also they what you can say is that they wanted to be as a young child, a 5-year-old. They did not want to become a youth also, because they know that once they grow up, they become a youth. It is very difficult to control the senses, very difficult to, the senses become very disturbing. They cannot control, they cannot maintain their celibacy. So they refused it. Okay. But here we see that Kardama Muni, he was a Prajapati, he meditated, but then he accepted the Grahasthashram. He married Devihuti, and then later on they got 9 daughters, and then they got a son, Kapila Muni. And when Kapila Muni reached an age where he can look after his mother, he adopted Vanaprastha and then became a sannyasi. And then there is another Priyavarta. This is Gaurav Darshan Prabhu says that like how King Priyavarta, right? When Uttanapad left for taking sannyasa, he was approached to take over the kingdom. And we see that how he first was not at all married also. He was into devotion. But then when he was asked to take Grahasthashram, he fully accepted it and fulfilled it to its fullest. So there are different kinds of people with different modes and different requirements, isn't it? Like when we go to a restaurant, there are some people who may like eat spicy food, but there are some who likes very mild. They will take only salads. They will take something which has not fried. But there are some who wants all that. But the restaurant keeps everything for different type of people, isn't it? So like that, our scriptures has got examples of all kinds of people. So we have to accept and we have to adopt what matches us, what is our capacity. It should not be that, oh, see, they have taken up sannyasa, so let me also do, but I do not have the capacity. Then what will I do? I try to pretend. That is called Falgu Vairagya. One story in one of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has given an example for this. Falgu Vairagya, it says that there is a man, he would always offer the Lord something, and then only he would eat. And he was known for that. And he would say, whenever he said, I will get something, I will offer to the God, then only I will eat. So one day his wife had a desire to eat popcorn. So she asked for it. And so he said, yeah, I will get popcorn for you. And then we both of us will sit together and we will enjoy the popcorn. So he went to buy a popcorn. And then as he was coming to his house, he was thinking, oh, I have this. I will give it to my wife. We will sit together. We will enjoy together. And then we will have this. And that time, a strong wind blew and all the popcorns flew. And that time he said, oh, all the popcorns. And then he said, Samarpayami. He said, oh, let this be offered to the Lord. This is called as adjusting according to your position. That is Falgova. That should not be. So everybody cannot accept one particular thing. So our scriptures has different examples. So according to what our capacity is, according to our frequency, we should adopt it. So that is why here, though Kardama Muni, he saw the Lord, but then since he was advised to take marry and increase the population, he accepted after seeing the Lord, he asked for a request and then he went into Grahasthashram. So this is the understanding which it says that now we have to approach the Lord and ask for his service. And Bhagavad Gita says that the religion means to surrender unto him. Therefore, one should follow the Vedic regulations and surrender unto the Supreme Lord, because the ultimate goal of human perfection, that is the ultimate goal of human perfection. One should live a life of piety, follow the religious rules and regulation, marry, live peacefully for elevation to the highest status of spiritual realization, and not get attached It is just like I have married, now I have got children, I do not have time for my spiritual growth. I have to work hard because I have to give proper education to my child. Yes, it should be like a track of railway track, two parallel. We should fulfill their needs, but at the same time, we should see that they are advancing spiritually. This is the understanding of this verse. Coming to Mataji's question, why it is? Here it is, oh my Lord, you are the master, right? And the leader of all living entities. Even it says that you are the master. That is, this R is because master is one, but he is the master of many, right? That is why it is said, you are the master of all the living entities. Under your instructions, all the conditioned souls, as if bound by rope, are constantly engaged in satisfying their desire under the instructions or under the energies of the Lord, right? Following them, O embodiment of religion, I also bear oblations for you who are the eternal time. You are the eternal time. You are the time. That is why it has been mentioned as R. But there is only one Lord. It is not many. That is to the understanding. But the condition, like here, you are the master. He is one, but he is the master of many. But here, he is the one, but of the eternal time, where the time has got many faces. Okay, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, got it.
Hare Krishna. Further, yes, this is Vrishabhanu Mataji, the recitation.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Mataji.
Announcement.
Recitation. Lokascham lokagatan pashunschа hitva siddhaste charanatapatram parasparam tat tvat purna vada sindhu piyusha nirya pitadeha dharmaha. Hare Krishna, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna, pranams. Prashanti Mataji, the translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation of Prabhupada ki Jai. However, persons who have given up stereotyped worldly affairs and the beastly followers of these affairs, and who have taken shelter of the umbrella of your lotus feet by drinking the intoxicating nectar of your qualities and activities in Mataji, can you scroll? In discussions with one another, can be freed from the primary necessities of the material world. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we'll understand the verse. It says lokams. Lokams means people who are engaged in worldly affairs. That is the materialistic people. Cha lokanugatan. That is anugatam. That is they are the followers of these materialistic people and the people who follow the materialistic people. Materialistic. They are considered pashums. They are living a animalistic life. Why they are living an animalistic life? Hitva. That means they are giving up. Shritascha charanata patram. They are giving up what? The umbrella. What is the umbrella? The lotus feet of the Lord. That lotus feet of the Lord that give us protection from all the material pangs of life, they are giving up. Okay? They are giving up that. And what are they following? They are following the materialistic people and they are becoming the followers of those materialistic people. Whereas the devotees, as a devotee, our duty is to give up the materialistic people and do not take the desire to become a follower of those people or neither follow the followers of the materialistic people, yet, but take the shelter of the Supreme Lord, because the shelter of the Supreme Lord is an umbrella for us that will protect us from the material pangs. Okay, there is another verse in Shrimad Bhagavatam also, which describes the lotus feet of the Lord. Maybe Shobha Mataji, if you're free, you can recite this.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams to producer Mataji, Srila Prabhupada. Deva Ucha Namamate Deva Padharavindam Prapanna Tapopashamata Patram Yamulaketa Yathoya Agnya Soru संसारदुःखं उक्षिपन्ति.
Shikanti, yes. We'll ask now Kishori Mataji. Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Haribol Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Now
Krishna
Kishori
Mataji,
Mataji, yeah.
Dandavat.
Pranams.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The demigod said, "O Lord, your lotus feet are like an umbrella for the surrendered souls, protecting them from all the miseries of material existence. All the sages under that shelter throw off all material miseries. We therefore offer our respectful obeisances unto your lotus feet." Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So in the first verse, in this verse, it says that these people, that is the materialistic people and the followers of the materialistic people, they have given up the lotus feet of the Lord, which is an umbrella. And here in this verse 3.5.39, it says that what is the Padaravindam? It is tapo pashatma atma patram. That is, it is the shelter. It is the shelter. It is an umbrella which give us shelter from the tapa, that is the miseries of the life. So what it is said that your lotus feet is like an umbrella. It is patram for the surrendered soul. Who is this prapannam? So for the surrendered souls, that is the devotees who surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord, for them it is just like an umbrella. Why? Because it is protecting them from all the miseries of material existence, right? That is why it is said that take the shelter of the Lord. All the sages under the shelter throw off all the material miseries. We should therefore offer our respectful obeisance to the Supreme Lord. So therefore it is said that here the materialistic people, they are giving up. They are not coming under that umbrella. And the sweetness of that umbrella, it is said that parasparam, when we come, all of us, when we come, we parasparam tvad gunavada sidu piyusha nirya pitadeha dharmam. So which is said that this, when we come in the association of the devotees, like-minded people, what we should do, parasparam tat gunavada. We should talk about the glories of the Lord. Why we should talk about the glories of the Lord? Because it is siduha. It is intoxicating and it is nectarian. Right? When we come in a congregation, that is why they give importance to association, right? We should associate with like-minded people. So when we come in association, we should talk about the glories of the Lord, because the glories of the Lord is Sidu and Piyush. It is nectarian and intoxicated. See, in this material world, we see that there are so many drunkards. Why they do? You ask them, why are they taking alcohol? Because they don't want to think about the worries, the anxiety which they are undergoing. So they drink, they are intoxicated, and they are not bothered about what is going around them. Similarly, in spirituality, we should understand that listen to the Leela, Guna, and qualities of the Lord, because they are nectar and they will intoxicate you into such an extent that you will not feel the material pangs of this material world. That is the understanding of this verse. It says that maybe we can read the last paragraph. Yeah, maybe from here, in order to find freedom from the stereotype. Can someone read?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Where Mataji?
Yes, read Prabhuji. In order to find freedom. Hari bol from here, Prabhu.
Okay, in order to find freedom from the stereotyped, conditioned life of material existence, one has to take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, not in the manner in which the impersonalists indulge, but in devotional service, chanting and hearing of the activities of the Lord. Only then can one be freed from the actions and reactions of material existence. It is recommended here that one should give up the conditional life of this material world and the association of so-called civilized human beings who are simply following, in a polished way, the same stereotyped principles of eating, sleeping, defending, and mating, chanting and hearing of the glories of the Lord is described here as Tatguna Vada Siddhu. Only by drinking the nectar of chanting and hearing the pastimes of the Lord can one forget the intoxication of material existence. Hare
Yes.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. That is what he says, right? Here in this verse, 11th canto, it says that Parasparamanu Kathanam Pavanam Bhagavat Yashasit Mito Rati Mitastushir Nivritti Mita Atmanaha. That Parasparam, when you meet together with the devotees, when you talk about the glories of the Lord, what is happening? Mito Rati. You will give up the attraction. Mito Tushtir. Here, let us see here. Yeah. It gives up tushtir, and one, it gives us attraction to the law. It meets us tushtir, nivritti meetha. It will give away all the cause of the suffering. We will be able to give up. We will be able to give up the material sense gratification. We will able to give up all the causes of suffering. Why? Because when we are hearing the glories of the Lord, what is happening is purification is happening. That purification of our consciousness help us to develop the loving friendship and feel mutual happiness and satisfaction, thus giving the importance of association and associating, not to talk about worldly matters, but to talk about the glories of the Lord. And this is a very famous verse which everybody knows. Mat chitta mat gata pranam bodhayanta parasparam Katayantascha mam nitya tushyanti cha ramanti cha. By conversing, what it happens, we experience great satisfaction and bliss. That is what the lesson from these 4 verses is, that though we have, because in this material world we are in the different modes, we cannot just avoid it. We are not that elevated. So if we have something like that, a desire, it is better to approach the Supreme Lord rather than the demigod, so that it helps us to elevate from the mode to the mode of goodness, and then to the pure goodness. And we take the shelter of the Supreme, the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, which is an umbrella for us, which helps in our purification and helps to reach our desired ultimate goal. Here it is said, no, it is piyusha, and it is intoxicant, right? We become oblivious to our surrounding. In the verse of Bhagavad Gita 2.15, it says that how it becomes that, it is only because we become samadukha sukham dhiram. You know, for us, it is not that there is no sukha and dukham. There is, but we become equipoised. We become just like a drunkard. He is taking alcohol so that he is not bothered. It does not affect him. Like that, we have to intoxicate ourselves with the nectar of the Lord, so that whether it is dukkham or sukham, we are equipoised and we do not move away from our duty of devotional service, because only by doing devotional service we can achieve liberation. This is all what is said in these 4 verses of Shrimad Bhagavatam. Grantaraj Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hope I have justified the 4 verses.
Hare Bol. Very nice session, Mataji. Thank you so much. So devotees, any questions? Suma Mataji?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Pranams, Mataji. Mataji, the 4 Kumaras disobeyed the orders of the spiritual master, no, Mataji? Because, so is it, how can I take that, Mataji? How can it?
Yeah. For a material cause. It's not for a material, for spiritual. You know, when there is something for spiritual, then it is accepted. Right? They refused to, because they didn't want to come into this material world, because they know that they felt that if they come, they will be attacked by Maya. So, but they did not, after refusing, it was not that they engaged themselves in sense gratification. No, they were worshipping the Lord. They were engaged in spiritual activity and preaching the glories of the Lord. So it is not considered as disobeying.
Mataji, they are the pure devotees of the Lord. When we say that we do not ask for liberation from the Lord, wherever He puts us, whether in hell or heaven or anywhere, according to the will of the Lord, we have to serve Him. So this is what they say, no, Mataji. So
Yes.
So I'm not able to understand that, Mataji. Like 4 Kumaras, like.
Yes, Mataji. First, we have to understand that if it is something for the pleasure of the Lord, then it is fine. Even Bali Maharaj also, he did not obey he had the authority. It is not said that he did wrong when he disobeyed his spiritual Shukracharya, right? He said, no, don't offer that to him. He is the Supreme Lord. When he understood that it is the Supreme Lord, he disobeyed his Guru and he offered it to the Lord. He gave up everything to the Lord. So anything for the pleasure of the Lord, it is not considered to be wrong, Mataji. So in fact, they were impersonalist. There is this verse which says that when they went to Vaikuntha, when they just smelled the aroma of Tulsi, such a transformation took place, and then they became the great devotees of the Lord.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Ramakrishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. This 14th sloka at the end of that one, you have mentioned. Can you share?
Prabhu, your voice is echoing.
Yeah.
Is it on 2 devices?
Yes, Mataji.
One device you can both.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yeah, that 14th sloka at the end of that sloka. Yeah, no, not this one, Mataji. Can you go up a little bit?
14th verse, right, Prabhu?
Yeah, yes, 14th. Okay, can you come to the end of that sloka, Mataji?
Shloka is this, Prabhu?
Yeah, yes. The end of that bhava. That's, yeah. Come slightly down, Mataji. Yeah, slightly down. Come to that. Yes. Please go down. Come down.
But come down.
Yes.
The purport you are telling.
Yes.
Okay, the purport. Okay.
Yes. This sloka, where is that sloka? This sloka number I want. This some
Actually, I cannot understand.
This sloka.
Type in chat.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Yeah.
This Prabhuji is asking from where the sloka is being derived.
The voice is echoing, Prabhuji.
Mother, this sloka.
This sloka you are asking, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
I think this is 11.3.30. I will tell you, Prabhu. I think it is, yes, it is 11.3.30.
Fine, thank you, Mataji. This is
even then I will confirm.
10.40.
10:14:58.
Yes, 10th canto. Yes. 48th verse, I guess.
10:14:58.
58. Okay.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Any other question or comment? Okay, so we will end the session here. Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Mataji. Hari Bol.
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत वैष्णव वृंद की जय। प्रभात की जय।
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Prabhuji, Pranam. Hare Krishna. Shall we end the session, Mataji? Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Pranam.